Welcome to Popcorn Planet. I am Andy Signore, and I'm so excited to be here with my man Vito. What's up, Vito?
Hello. I'm doing
Vito,
good.
Are you ready to play my favorite game?
I don't know. Is it Hide the Weasel? Because last time we played that, it got kind of weird.
No. Today we will be playing a special edition of... They said what? They said what? Joe Rogan versus Howard Stern. Both are in the news today saying things about the Rona. I want to figure out with you, Vito, who sounds dumber. All right, we're going to go through these quotes of these two titans of industry. Look, let me show my cards right out the gate. I'm a massive fan of Howard Stern. I grew up listening to him. I respect him. I love his interviews with celebrities. I do think he's become a little elitist, and his money has gone to his head a bit. His show isn't as entertaining as it once was because he's less afraid. And I do think
he's more afraid.
Yeah, I guess. Thank you. Yeah. Right, he's more afraid. Thank you for correcting me. And then meanwhile, Joe Rogan, look, I think he has definitely become less afraid and says whatever the hell he wants, but I think sometimes that gets him into trouble, saying things that he's not as educated on that perhaps he should, given the amount of people that listen. Do you share my comparisons there? Do you have anything else you want to add to these two?
Howard Stern has definitely gotten less controversial. Joe, I'm not sure. I mean, he's moved over to Spotify, which he seems to be working with them, trying to have some rules, but I guess there's probably less rules than when he was on YouTube, so maybe he is a little wilder. I'm not sure.
Well, let's talk about this. Again, be careful with the keywords. Thanks to YouTube. We can't speak freely like either of the two of them can. But here we go. So Howard Stern has recently slammed Rogan for taking this, horse dewormer.
Magic paste.
Calling them S-heads for all the pokers. We'll call them. Anti-pokers. Anti-pokers. And so, again, backstory. Howard has come forward and sort of has said things. Well, we'll get to his. Actually, we'll get to his. It's recapped all here. So he's criticizing people who refuse to get the poke for the Rona, and he's now set his sights on Joe Rogan. Who now, in my history, looking back, Joe Rogan is a fan of Howard Stern. Obviously, looks up to him, respects him as the legend that he is. I've never really seen these two go head to head before, and now they are, because of this, this issue we're in. And so last week, Rogan ranted, we talked about this here if you missed it, about the media's coverage of a supposedly doctor-approved treatment. The media was so hung up on the one piece of 7 or 8 things that he did that is available for humans, that was given to him by a doctor, that a lot of people were just so hung up on the fact that it's also a
doctor
horse
gave
dewormer.
That to him?
A doctor gave that to him, yes. And so that's what he
kind
said.
Of doctor?
He got really mad, and he's like, which the Food and Drug Ministry says should not be treated to use for the Rona.
That's what I was going to say. Is
some versions
what kind of doctor
it,
is this? I thought they weren't giving that out.
See, video. I don't think you're as educated as you should. Some versions of it are used to deworm livestock, but it is also used on humans for certain things.
I know it's used in humans. I just thought no doctor would give it for this specific disease at this point in time.
Well, so I don't know who Joe Rogan's doctor is, but yes, Joe Rogan is claiming that it was. Here, so he said, "Bro, do I have to sue CNN? They're making S up. They keep saying I'm taking horse dewormer. I literally got it from a doctor. It's an American company. They won the Nobel Prize in 2015 for use in human beings, and CNN is saying I'm taking horse dewormer. They must know that's a lie." The Nobel Prize was for its parasitic effects, not for the Rona. So the doctor clearly is like, well, this is good for parasites. Let's try it. Regardless of whether I think that is, it's his right.
Yeah.
It's his right. Now, the responsibility comes to he's got a big audience, and that's where people take umbrage. So here we go. Stern went on the air Monday and called out Joe Rogan for taking this and all of the S-heads in our country who won't get the poke. I heard Joe Rogan was saying, "What are you busting my balls for? I took horse dewormer and a doctor gave it to me." Well, a doctor would also give you the poke, so why take a horse dewormer? Stern said. "We have no time for idiots in this country anymore. We don't want you. We want you all either to go to the hospital and stay home, die there with your Rona. Don't take the cure. But don't clog up our hospitals with your Rona when you finally get it. Stay home. Don't bother with science. It's too late. Go F yourself. We just don't have time for you." Now, this is echoing concerns he said before, where he said that the poke should now be mandatory and called for people who refuse to get it idiots. He also had a recent tirade about radio hosts and everybody who have died from it, saying that the people who aren't poked shouldn't be admitted to hospitals if they get the virus. When are we going to stop putting up with idiots in this country and just say it's mandatory to get poked? F them. F their freedom. I want my freedom to live. I want to get out of the house already. I want to go next door and play chess. I want to take some pictures. This is BS. If you have a heart attack or any kind of problem, you can't even get into the ER. I'm really of mind to say, look, if you didn't get the poke and you get it, then you don't get to go to a hospital. The clip from Stern has now been pulled from the internet. So Vito, pretty extreme comments coming from Mr. Stern. I know we've had some disagreements on this as well, this topic, but I thought let's have a little quick heated debate on this issue. Look, we can't. It's impossible to not get political, but I thought easier to maintain this on an episode of They Said What.
I like that music. Not gonna lie.
They said what? They said what? Howard and Joe have said what? Now, based on what they both have said, the argument here, and I think this could be a fun reoccurring thing we try. Who sounds dumber, Vito? Now, I got my opinions, but I want to go to you first, sir. Who, based on the words, step back, Vito. Based on the words, who sounds dumber?
Dumber, like less intelligent.
Mm-hmm.
Here's the thing, though, is I don't think either of these men have said anything well, here's the thing. They're comedians, right?
Sure.
Like, they're doing a bit. So can I say Howard Stern was dumb if I know he's doing a bit? I don't think Howard Stern really, but I don't know. Maybe he does think it should be mandatory. I mean, if I'm taking Howard Stern at his word and he's not joking, I would say probably a little bit dumber than Joe here.
Oh, wow. Are we going to agree on this for once?
Well, it's tough. So the thing about Howard Stern is this idea that it should be mandatory, it's just unfeasible. There's no way that you could ever have a country that says you have to go to the doctor and do this thing. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. You just can't do it, even if you want to. So, you know, and I assume he's being hyperbolic for the sake of comedy, but I'm going to assume that maybe he's being serious. The way to encourage people to get the poke, there's certain ways. I think the best way is honestly with privileges and certain things, saying, you want to go to this show, you have to have the poke. One thing happened, a company recently said, if you don't get it, your insurance rates are going to go up because you have a higher chance of, you know, contracting a disease. So I think there are ways to incentivize it, but you could never possibly, you know, force people into getting it. So that is a dumb thing for Howard Stern to be even talking about.
Yeah, I mean, and especially him basically saying, yeah, if you get it, you're denied health.
Yeah, we can't do that.
What I mean,
what do you? The Hippocratic Oath is real.
It's real.
Do no harm.
You can be frustrated, but to me, look, and I like Howard. I do. I still like Howard. I will always like Howard. So much, you know, history with Howard and listening to him on the radio, Baba Booey. Oh God, Eric the actor. So I mean, I could go on forever about my love of Howard, and I've legitimately listened. But God, yeah, it just. To me, Howard and what he's saying is the problem right now. Because while I agree in spirit with some of what he says, and I think where you stand, and I know not all our audience will agree, and some are more extreme than other. It's just so important that we not be so hyperbolic and so aggressively us versus them, and you die and leave us alone because I want to go out and play chess. I mean, dude, you can go out and play chess. Like, you sound like a freaking moron right now. You can mask up, you cannot mask up. You are vaxxed.
You never know.
I assume Howard has gotten the poke. Like, he can go out and play chess.
You can still get a cold. You can still get. There's still
this
that
is
slight
insane.
chance
Like,
that
yes, you
might
can
get
go
sick.
out and play chess, Howard. A lot of people are playing chess still outside, especially outside. So I'm a little confused at the level of sort of seriousness he has put all this. But the reality is, I know there's a lot of people who feel that way. There's a lot of people who aren't even going outside because they still are. It's so scary out there. Look, I will tell you personally, I'm going outside. I'm living my life. It is what it is. I'm careful.
Yeah.
Keep a distance. I wear my mask. I do it all. I've gotten the poke. It is what it is. Now, neither Vito and I or Howard or Joe are doctors. None of you should listen to what we do. Like, make up your own decision from a doctor. Right. But this is where I think I do disagree with you. Is I do think people who have a large audience have a responsibility with certain things, with information or whatever else.
So with Joe, the problem I have is that I wish he could have been more upfront about, listen, I've taken this treatment, I got better. I can't be sure that this is why I got better. I don't have the medical, there's no real medical research that says that this is a definitive cure. But I am going to be open with you and say that I tried it and I got better. I also wish he would say, you know, hey, based on the science, based on the facts we have, this vaccine is very useful. The poke. Sorry, I said I don't know if you're allowed to say the
just keep moving forward. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. If I mean, I look at the science and I think it's useful. And if Joe really disagrees, I can't change his mind. But I would hope he would, as a guy who cares about science, look into the studies that have said it's safe and also deliver that information to his audience.
See, but that's where you get me frustrated. Now we are having a debate. He has never said he's anti-poke. In fact, we have not proven whether he's actually taken the poke. And that's what bothers me so much. It's none of our business. We as society and audience members keep assuming things and implying things that I think are unfair because we've gotten so extreme because it is an us versus them mentality. Now, look, I may not agree with certain things. Some people in my audience may be much more aggressive in certain angles on this. They may be annoyed that I got the poke, Vito. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't care because whether you asked or not, I'm not going to hide my, what I am. I've made it very clear. Don't listen to me. I'm not a doctor. Who the fuck knows what I think? Stepping back from it all, I think it's as someone who lived in the left Hollywood bubble for so long, and you're still there. I know you are. Lifted that button and then had to move to Florida and adapt. It didn't turn me red pill Republican. The red pill is like waking up to the real world if you realize, wow, outside this bubble, there's a lot of normal people who I don't agree with politically, but aren't crazy monsters. You know what I mean? And you start to realize, like, yeah, there's just a lot of people who have difference of opinions. But to me, what's frustrating is this whole thing is Howard is doing to me is sadly falling back to the trait that a lot of people do, which is going to the extreme other side, which is basically saying, F you, you idiots, you don't deserve to get health care. I mean, it's insane. He sounds so idiotic right now. Now, I agree. Rogan doesn't always sound perfect either, but
he is joking a little bit.
This is a non-contest. I'm shocked at Howard, and I hope you're right. Maybe he does like to just sort of go extreme on his show. He'll lose it with Robin. But come on. Sure, he's on SiriusXM. It's less, but still, he has a big audience, just like Joe. It's getting a lot of press right now. Are you going to be as critical at Howard for being as extreme, telling people that they shouldn't get
I feel like I'm getting mixed messages from you because you're saying, well, you can't cancel Joe. It's just his opinion. And then you're saying, oh, we can criticize Howard because he's being dumb. I don't understand.
No, I'm saying he sounds dumber out of the two options, but I will fight.
But neither of them can be criticized?
Well, no, we obviously you can criticize them. I'm just saying I will fight for their right to say it. That's where I think
I don't think either of us is trying to.
We had an argument about this man right here. I have my Jim Brewer Goat Boy figure. Nobody else will remember this. Dating myself. I can't believe out of all my toys, this is the one that somehow made it through all my 4 moves. But I have the Goat Boy figure, and he got in trouble. We can talk about this briefly, but yeah, he got in trouble because he canceled some shows and did a whole tirade on Facebook. And you and I were having a beef back and forth about why are people, and my whole take was, why are people listening to Jim Brewer as a doctor for medical advice? And to me, the biggest problem with our country and our world is just we worship celebrities, and we need to stop listening to celebrities on anything. It's ridiculous the amount of attention and importance we give these people. Anybody who is listening to Joe Rogan, Howard Stern, or Jim Brewer for medical advice, I'm sorry, they are idiots. I'm sorry, guys, you're an idiot. Like, you can listen to a celebrity and use it as a minor sort of collective of, okay, my doctors, everybody. And I respect Jim. I know he's been through it. I know he lost someone to it. All right, so I heard what he said, so I'm going to look into this. Like, that's fine if you're using it as a calculation to what you make your decisions by. But this idea that Joe Rogan can't cancel his shows and can speak sort of candidly about the conspiracies he feel like there are and the worries he share, whether I agree or not, I'm going to fight for his right to say it. That's all I'm getting at, Vito.
But I feel like I don't want to say disingenuous, but I don't think I've ever said that Jim Brewer can't say whatever he wants. The question is, if you knew, let's say it was you, if you knew there was people listening to the show and they truly respected your opinion, and you knew you were in a position to influence what they were going to do medically, would you feel responsible if you gave them bad advice?
Well, I mean, you asked me on Twitter. I remember you were like, "Well, yeah, what if Jim Brewer's out there saying go drink bleach? It'll cure your cancer."
Right? Yeah.
That would be irresponsible because it's completely
that would be irresponsible.
Yeah, it's completely proven that that's not true. Where I have problems is we don't know what's true yet. Now, do I have my own inclinations? And am I trusting the FDA and the thing? Well, it's not even really fully approved. Let's be honest, right, dude? There are side effects. They're very minor. It's very rare. But the reality is, the government has done stuff to us, to people. Yeah. They have done testing. I see why some people are hesitant, right? I understand that. And while it frustrates me because I feel like we should all just do it, look, the reality is, as you said, we can't make anybody do anything. And I'm not going to call a whole swath of people who are a little bit more afraid or maybe, ignorant to the reality and just sign them off.
Well,
and that includes Mr. Jim Brewer. Because if the reality is, Vito, I share some of his conspiracy theories. I'll be honest.
Yeah, well, we were talking about that, and I don't agree with you at all. But and that's where it comes down to is that okay? I think we both have the baseline of if you tell your audience to drink bleach to cure their cancer, then you're doing a bad thing. So then it moves on to where is your line? My line is that I've looked at the science on this poke. I've looked at the effect rate and how well it prevents this disease and the efficacy and all that stuff, and I've said I feel like it is more responsible to at least give your audience that information to say, listen, here's the science, here's the studies. Okay, if you want to then take it from there and say, but I have some hesitations, fine. The problem with Jim Brewer is he goes, also, it's a conspiracy by the rich to make money. And that's why. And I'm like, all right, come on.
I believe him there.
Yeah.
I totally believe him there.
No. Here's the thing. If the rich want to make money, they want to reopen the economy. They really do.
Bullshit.
Reopening. They all have money.
You think Amazon is making more money before this or more or less? Do you think Amazon and Walmart are making more money right now or less?
Amazon, Walmart.
Whoa. I'll let you, but not to cut you up. Answer my question, sir. Do you think Amazon and Walmart are making more or less? Okay, got you.
I don't actually know.
What about the pharmaceutical industry right now that are doing these vaccines? Do you think they're making more or less, Vito?
Yeah, but I do agree.
More or less.
The pharmaceutical industry is making more.
Okay, so I'm already listing several of the richest people in the world that are all profiting. So why is it so out of your headspace? I'm sure we could sit here and think of dozens more industries that are profiting. Why? I mean, hospitals themselves right now are profiting. Okay, you get more This is a fact, guys. Go look it up. Hospitals get more money for people who have the Rona than people who don't. That is a serious problem that's happening. I have a friend who had a heart attack. It's not because the hospitals are overcrowded. They're pushing out the other patients because they don't make as much money on the hospital beds, Vito. Like, that's effed up. That is a reality. Do you know that?
Do
you know that? Are you denying this fact? Or are you telling me I'm crazy?
I'm not even hearing you right now. I'm just letting you go.
But whoa.
What's with the hospital beds?
The hospitals are making more money for patients who have the Rona than patients who don't. So I have a friend whose dad had a heart attack. He was pushed out of the hospital early, slow, bad service, because they don't get as paid. They want someone else on that bed who pays them more.
Okay. So I'm going to give you a phrase, and I want you to tell me if you've heard it. Correlation does not imply causation. You know that phrase?
Yes.
So the fact that money is going up because of the health crisis in certain industries, that does not mean that there is a dang conspiracy to make that happen. It could just be that they're making more money because there's a disease.
Right, but I want to be clear. I'm not saying like it's an inside job, like it was all created by the government. Whoa.
Yeah.
Never said that.
You're saying that they want to prolong it.
I'm saying they'd like to prolong it. I think the media would like to give misinformation. I think they want us to be in fear because the longer we are on lockdown, the more money they make. Is that really that far off base?
I think that you can come up with any conspiracy. I think you can come up with any conspiracy.
How is that a conspiracy?
Because it's a conspiracy if you don't have actual evidence other than they're making more money. I just told you there are instances where the hospitals are doing that because they realize they make more money. So But just because they are making more money does not validate. It's still a theory based on just independent data. You have no real evidence.
Okay, so until I have real evidence, you will live blindly like sheep.
Real evidence.
Until then, you will just be a blind sheep doing whatever the government tells you. Understood.
Yeah.
Fair
I'm
enough.
not a blind sheep. I have studies. I have science. Why does everybody?
Well, the reality is, no one should listen to either of us because, again, like I said, we don't know what we're talking about.
Nobody should listen to celebrities, but we have to reckon with the fact that they do, and that's the problem. You can't just say, "Well, you can't listen to celebrities," because people do, and the celebrities are aware of that. They know that people listen to them, and they have to be responsible with that power.
I will say as closing, then I'll go back to you for your closing. We no longer should have to be the babysitters for celebrities. That's ridiculous. It is not our responsibility. We should be educating, parents should be educating their children to stop looking up to said celebrities like they are the know-it-alls. It's ridiculous. That is what we should be more concerned about. And I'm sorry, Jim Brewer, I enjoy you a lot still. I think you're very funny. His stand-up's very funny. Do I agree with him politically? Not really. Do I hear him out? Do I appreciate that I can hear another person's perspective on it? I do, actually, because I'm an adult who can hear information, and then I'm not supposed to go do it because he told me to. But I appreciate that we live in a world where people like Jim Brewer, Howard Stern, Joe Rogan can all say these things. Now, does that mean we can't criticize them? Of course we can criticize them. That's what we're doing. We should. And in this case of who was sound dumber, I got to say, I think Howard went a little bit more extreme and actually helped Joe Rogan out by proving the point of all these people are just so crazily just saying whatever they have to say to disagree with him, where, I'm sorry, Howard, you went too far. But what's your final thought?
My final thought is that, love it or hate it, people use various data points to make a decision. They might talk to their friends, they might talk to their doctor, and they might listen to the Joe Rogan show. And even if he's not the ultimate authority on what the decision they decide to make, he is going to be a part of that decision. They are going to use that information as part of the decision they make. And so you have to be responsible and make sure you're giving your audience good information. I would like to see Joe talk about some of these studies, talk about how efficient the poke can be. And if he disagrees with it, I hope he has reasons as to why and evidence as to why. But ultimately, I think Howard Stern, I think he was just trying to have fun. It looks bad in text, but I think if you listen to him, it's a lot of fun. But if you took his comments at face value, no, we can't force people medically to get any sort of treatment. We just can't do it. We can coerce them in various ways. Again, you might not be able to go to your favorite baseball game or see your favorite singer if you don't get it. That's just the rules you got to play by. You got to decide what's right for you.
Fair enough. Look, I don't disagree. There is a responsibility celebrities have. They should be a little bit more careful. I don't disagree with you there. But we do also need to respect that they're allowed to say what they want. We can decide not to listen to them.
They're people. They can have an opinion.
People need to have opinions. And of all, the two people like us who have extreme opinions, I want to protect the ability to have said extreme opinions. It doesn't mean we can't criticize, just to be clear. And Joe Rogan, I think, just because he took a list of things that his doctor told him, I think the media has lost their minds in reporting this. It's a little silly, if you ask me. But I'm curious what you guys think. I love that I can have these conversations with people like my friends like Vito, because we can disagree, we can whatever, we have fun. That's what it's about. We need to have more conversations. We're allowed to disagree respectfully. Can we do more of that in this world, Vito? Is it possible?
No.
Hit that subscribe button, hit the bell for all alerts, smash that like button, and leave your comments on this civilly like we just did. And while you're at it, go subscribe to Vito. Look up, just Google Vito on YouTube. Search him on Vito. You'll find the Vito channel. Go throw him a subscribe as well, whether you agree with him or not, because he's a good guy. Thank you guys so much for watching. Stay tuned for more coverage that hopefully YouTube will show you someday. Who knows? It's all crapshoot on this platform. So why not click on one of these? You might find something you like, because they're not going to show you.